What's up, everyone? My name is Nico and I'm back with the final NBA video of the 2019-2020 season. In this NBA Finals preview, we will have the Los Angeles Lakers matched up against the Miami Heat in an interesting matchup that features a lot of fascinating storylines. From LeBron James playing his old team in Miami, to Coach Spoelstra building up the proper game plan to contain Anthony Davis and LeBron James, to Pat Riley and LeBron still having some offseason beef from 2014 where LeBron was disrespectful during a Miami Heat pitch. There's a lot of interesting storylines to be had in this NBA Finals, so let's get straight to the video.
We are finally here. We have arrived at the NBA Finals where the Los Angeles Lakers will take on the Miami Heat. Before we dive into the actual matchup between these two top-tier teams, I believe we should go through the three teams that each conference champion beat to get to this point. In the Western Conference, the Los Angeles Lakers made light work of all three teams that they beat in their journey to the NBA Finals, starting with a 4-1 victory over the Portland Trail Blazers, followed by a Western Conference semifinals against the Rockets, in which they also prevailed 4-1, and wrapping it all up against the surprise team in the Denver Nuggets, winning 4-1 yet again, gentlemen sweeping through the entire Western Conference. As for the Eastern Conference champion Miami Heat, many would say that they had the more difficult path to the NBA Finals, prevailing over teams like the Indiana Pacers in a sweep, a gentleman sweep over the favorite Milwaukee Bucks featuring the MVP and Defensive Player of the Year, Giannis Antetokounmpo, but don't have to talk about that, while then taking down the Boston Celtics in 6 games to get to the finals with the same 12-3 record that the Los Angeles Lakers had. As for the matchup itself between the Lakers and the Heat, this is going to be a very challenging battle for the title favorite Lakers, with a Miami Heat team that likes to play a lot of zone, can mix it up with man-to-man, and has a defensive anchor in Bam Adebayo that really controls all the proceedings in the paint. While people may look at LeBron and AD and think, well, LeBron's definitely better than Jimmy, and AD is definitely better than Bam, it's not so simple. A lot of people have used the argument throughout the postseason that the Lakers do not have a deep bench, which has obviously been debunked throughout these playoffs. But the Miami Heat truly does have a roster of 10 guys that can legitimately play any night and regularly leave people like Andre Iguodala, Derrick Jones Jr., and Kendrick Nunn on the bench with little to no minutes, which is impressive for calibers of players as those. On the Lakers side of things, they definitely need a strong performance from Danny Green. I am so tired of seeing that man airball jump shots, airball floaters, not play great defense, all while gaining $15 million a year. $15 million, okay? Just 15, 1, okay, good, 1-5. Good thing about Danny Green is that he's a valuable trade asset for next season, but that's not what we're really talking about. They really need their role players to step up like Danny Green, KCP, Caruso. Rondo has played extremely well. Kuzma played terribly against Denver, but has the potential to play a lot better, obviously, and especially in Dwight Howard. JaVale McGee at this point should be completely phased out of the offense as he has been damn near atrocious throughout the playoffs. And Dwight just offers a lot more level head, a lot more professionalism, and size and strength in the middle, as we saw him dominate Nikola Jokic on the rebounds, both offensively and defensively, through that Western Conference Finals series. On the Miami side of things, they had to deal with a challenging perimeter play of Jason Tatum, Kemba Walker, Marcus Smart, Gordon Hayward, Jaylen Brown, and a lot of these more perimeter-centered teams that do not have a monster in the middle like Anthony Davis that Boston could have countered with Daniel Theis. Some Eastern Conference scouts said that Daniel Theis was going to be a wash with Bam Adebayo, and if that dude has a job scouting teams, then I can make it anywhere, because that is the most horrendous call and the most horrendous comparison that you could possibly make, that Bam and Daniel Theis would be anywhere near equal. But regardless, they'll be dealing with a lot more perimeter-centered teams, with the Indiana Pacers, with the Milwaukee Bucks, outside of Giannis, of course, and now with the Boston Celtics. While the Lakers focus primarily on getting their points in the paint through LeBron James, obviously Anthony Davis, and Dwight Howard and others, they just like driving a lot more into the paint. As we see by the Lakers' three-point percentage, they haven't been the best three-point shooting team throughout the season. Some would argue they're actually in the lower half of the league. I would say they're about league average, with players like KCP, Danny Green being able to hit some threes occasionally, Kuzma as well. But they do a lot more of their damage inside of the paint, where they can actually create a lot of problems for Miami Heat. While they do like playing a 2-3 zone, the Heat do, LeBron James, with the size and the passing ability that he has to manipulate the defense, really affects Miami in a different way than a lot of other teams. Because Miami was able to hone in on the 2-3 zone and basically dare the Celtics to hit a lot of threes to beat them. The Lakers offer a bigger set of issues where LeBron can drive into the paint, and when they have two, you have to kick out to the corner where you'll have an open Danny Green, open Rajon Rondo, open Kyle Kuzma. But more than that, LeBron has been able to look people off in the zone to get the ball in the mid-post to an Anthony Davis that has a lot of mid-range and has been but statistically, the best mid-range shooter in the whole NBA throughout the bubble and the playoffs. So that 2-3 zone, I don't know how often and how likely they are to employ it, like the Boston Celtics, in which they were in the zone basically 85% of the time. I believe in this series it'll be a lot more of a mixture of the man versus the zone in this case, but definitely look for a series where LeBron James will look to dominate to get the Finals MVP. Although Jimmy is a great defender, I believe that AD will have more problems in this series than LeBron, per se. I know LeBron will have to deal with Jay Crowder, Jimmy Butler, Andre Iguodala, but Anthony Davis will also have his handful with Bam Adebayo. So it's going to be interesting to see who really takes the reins in the finals. I hope it's not another 2011 scenario where LeBron was deferring a lot to D. Wade. Obviously, he has grown 10 years from that moment, but this Miami Heat team is nothing to joke with. People are saying that they're a 5 seed, so the Lakers should be prohibitive favorites. And we all saw what happened to the Clippers when they were prohibitive favorites against the Denver Nuggets. So in this case, I just hope the Los Angeles Lakers keep a level head. LeBron knows what the end goal is now. Anthony Davis has proven to be the best number 2 possibly in NBA history, as the dude is a walking 30-12 in the playoffs with 2.5 blocks per game. And I hope the rest of the Lakers role players really show up to beat the Miami Heat. But do not be surprised if the Heat come out early and snag game 1 through the very powerful play of Bam and mostly through their 3-point shooting. It's going to depend a lot on Goran Dragic to get the offense initiated and make sure that they're getting easy looks while letting Jimmy Butler rest on the offensive end of the game, especially for the first half. If Goran can put up maybe 17 to 20 points a game and the 3-point shooters can hit their open shots, we're going to have a very difficult series here against the Lakers, and where the Lakers are not going to want to take it to 6 or 7, where anything can happen in the end of the series in any game. If we get to a Game 7, I do have a lot of faith in LeBron James, as he's obviously the best Game 7 performer of all time. But like I just said, in Game 7, absolutely anything can happen, and the Lakers will definitely be looking to close before then. I'm going to say Lakers in 6. Like I said, it's going to depend a lot on Miami to actually get open shots through their three-point shooters. Depends a lot on Jay Crowder. He had a horrible series against the Celtics while having an awesome series against Milwaukee. So it's really going to depend on him to find some stability. And if he shoots in the 40% range, Miami has a good shot of taking down LA. Like I said, Lakers in 6. I believe LeBron will be the MVP of the finals and officially reclaim his number 1 position in the world of the best player. I believe he's the best player of all time, and this will only make his argument that much better. Now, I could sit here and give you guys a lot more arguments on why the Lakers and Heat will be a great matchup, why the Lakers will win, why the Heat will put up a good fight, blah, 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 blah. But instead, I'm going to let you enjoy LeBron James, the best player on the court, in the world, and arguably of all time. Enjoy.
They get the switch. Now Murray on LeBron James. A hobbled Murray. Trying to stay with him as best he can. LeBron James hits one for LA. Last year, the first year of LeBron James, and they've missed 6 consecutive years with a drought. James again. Oh, he hits another one. LeBron James.
His 116th, which is number 1.
He'll take a 3. LeBron James will hit a 3.
Wow.
Oh, how about it? LeBron James.
Tell you what, LeBron James, he's done it in so many ways. Leave it.
Thanks for watching the video, everyone. Leave a like if you enjoy what you were watching. Leave a comment if you actually think Miami's going to win the finals, but I have my doubts. Subscribe if you're new and you'd like to see more content in the future. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and also Twitch for all of your gaming needs. Till the next time, peace.